All right, let's be honest. If you clicked on this, you're at least a little curious about work motivation, right?
For sure.
Whether we're talking about ourselves or, teams, it's huge.
Yeah.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into this BetterUp article, Work Motivation, what it is and why it is important.
All right.
Get ready to go way past the surface level stuff. We're going to uncover some really fascinating things, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting how we tend to think about motivation as like this mysterious thing.
Totally.
You either have it or you don't. But really, it's a lot more how do I say this? Dynamic.
Okay.
And maybe even kind of predictable.
Okay, so you're saying it's not just about waiting for that, that lightning bolt of inspiration.
Yeah.
It's something that you can actually cultivate, like intentionally. Tell me more.
Absolutely. Think about it this way. Motivation is really just that driving force, that energy
Okay.
behind, why we do anything, big or small.
Right.
Like when you're thirsty, you get a glass of water.
Yeah.
That's motivation.
Basic, right.
Yeah, but like the article says, it's the difference between doing that and training for like an Ironman.
Oh, okay.
One is like basic needs.
Yeah, yeah.
The other's way more complex.
So it's not just this like one-size-fits-all thing. There are different types of motivation.
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
In fact, the article talks about two main types, intrinsic and extrinsic.
Okay.
Ever heard of the carrot and stick approach?
Of course, yeah. Classic.
That's pure extrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
External rewards or avoiding bad stuff.
Yeah, consequences. Yeah, I get that. But what about this intrinsic motivation then? I feel like that's where the real magic is.
You're getting it. Intrinsic motivation is about enjoyment or that satisfaction you get from doing the thing itself.
Okay.
Like, it's the difference between cleaning because you gotta and cleaning because you find it like oddly satisfying.
Some people do. Some people really do. And I'm assuming, when we bring it to work, this is a big deal.
Oh, huge.
I mean, who doesn't want like a team that's genuinely psyched about what they're doing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The article actually connects intrinsic motivation with how satisfied employees are.
Makes sense.
People who love their work,
Yeah.
they're happier and less likely to leave,
Lower turnover?
Yeah.
Any manager, I think, would love to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just about like feeling good and good vibes.
Yeah.
This actually has bottom line impact.
Yeah, big time. They're talking about like a 31% increase in productivity.
Whoa, hold on. 31%.
Yeah. But it's not just numbers. It's, people going above and beyond. They become like champions for the company.
Okay.
That passion just, it spills over. It creates a better experience for everyone.
So what's the secret?
Right?
Is it just about finding people who are already passionate or is there something more to it?
That's the million-dollar question. And this article, it says it's about something deeper, meaning.
Okay.
It's helping people connect what they do to something bigger, something they really care about.
Okay, so we're talking more than just like a paycheck.
Way more.
Or a corner office.
Yeah. Think of it this way. Someone's passionate about, let's say, building sustainable furniture.
Okay, cool.
But they hate like the admin stuff that comes with, running a business.
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
Right. But if they can connect those tasks to their bigger vision, like a healthier planet, a more ethical industry, that can change everything.
Oh, so it's like seeing the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
Understanding how your like small efforts fit into a larger goal.
Exactly. It's about those aha moments where employees see the impact. They feel a real purpose.
So I'm starting to see the power of this whole meaning thing.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Okay.
There are plenty of things at work that can just kill motivation,
Oh, yeah.
faster than you can say, like micromanagement.
For sure.
The article lists a few of these, classic motivation killers.
Yeah.
What really stood out to you?
It's funny because it's not always the obvious things, like difficult projects or crazy deadlines.
Right.
Sometimes it's the subtle stuff that just chips away. Like you said, micromanagement or not having opportunities to grow.
Yeah.
Or feeling insecure in your role.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like if you don't feel trusted.
Exactly.
Or valued.
Right.
It's hard to get excited about anything.
Totally.
But I don't know if you noticed this, but what I found really interesting was what wasn't on that list. Like those tough challenges, the long hours, and pressure to deliver. Why do you think those are missing?
That's a great point. It really shows something important.
Okay.
Challenges, even when they're tough, they can be really motivating when they're tied to learning and growing.
Okay.
It's when they feel, I don't know, pointless
Yeah.
or random
Right.
that they really kill your motivation.
Uh-huh. So it's not about avoiding challenges, it's about framing them in a way that really taps into our intrinsic motivation.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about an environment where challenges are seen as chances to grow and develop,
Right.
not just, obstacles to get over.
Okay. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about how challenges can actually um, boost motivation if they're tied to personal growth. But that made me think, you know, we've been talking about self-motivation. What about like motivating others?
Yeah.
You know, leading a team and keeping them engaged. That's a whole different ballgame.
It really is. It's definitely more complex.
Right.
But but the good news is the article has some really practical advice for leaders who want to build a more motivated team.
Lay it on me. What are some of the top strategies for leaders who want to boost their team's motivation?
Well, one thing the article really stresses is showing genuine interest in your employees.
Okay.
And I don't mean just, that surface level, how was your weekend
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's about actually taking the time to understand, like, what they want,
Yeah.
what their challenges are,
Mm-hmm.
what makes them tick.
So you're saying it's more than just like going through the motions. It's about making people feel like actually heard and valued.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. Have you ever had a boss who, like, really seemed to care about your growth?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they actually wanted your input and took the time to see things from your perspective.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. When you feel like you've got a voice and your manager's on your side,
Totally.
it changes the whole dynamic. But how do you put that into practice?
Well, the article talks about taking a more coaching approach to leadership,
Okay.
creating that psychologically safe environment where people feel comfortable, taking risks, sharing ideas, even making mistakes.
Psychological safety. I hear that term a lot.
Yeah.
What is that like? What does that actually look like, though?
Well, it's about building a culture where it's okay to be vulnerable, you know?
Okay.
Like, vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. People feel comfortable speaking their mind without being judged
Right.
or punished for it.
Right. Yeah. No one wants to get in trouble for sharing their idea.
Exactly. Think about leaders who are willing to, like, admit their own mistakes,
Right.
who ask for feedback and make space for constructive criticism, That's what psychological safety is all about.
So it's about shifting away from that like blame and shame and going to more of a like supportive environment
Right.
where people are okay even when they mess up.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But even in those like supportive places, I think it's still tough to keep people motivated all the time. What are some other things, that leaders can try?
Well, the article really emphasizes connecting individual work to the bigger picture.
Okay.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and forget why what we do matters.
Right.
As leaders, I think, we got to remind people how their work helps the team,
Yeah.
the company's mission, even the world.
Like that saying, none of us is as smart as all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so important for people to see how their piece fits into the puzzle.
Yeah, totally. What other gems does this article offer?
Well, it also talks about the importance of a positive work environment.
Okay.
Now, that might seem obvious, but it's more than just like free snacks and ping pong tables.
Right.
It's about, really building that culture of enthusiasm, collaboration, genuine care for each other.
So leading by example.
Yeah.
If the leader brings that energy,
Yeah.
that excitement, it kind of spreads.
It does. It's contagious.
Yeah.
And it's about giving employees that power,
Okay.
letting them own their work.
So making decisions, solving problems,
Totally.
taking on new challenges without always having to ask for permission.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that. But I can see some leaders, maybe getting a little nervous about like letting go of control.
Right.
How do you find that balance?
It's advance,
Yeah.
it takes effort, but it might mean starting small.
Okay.
Like, delegate tasks that give people some creative freedom.
Right.
Encourage brainstorming. Or just be more open to new ideas.
So it's shifting away from like command and control and going towards an empower.
Exactly. And it's realizing that people will make mistakes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's about making learning and growing more important than being perfect.
Okay. This is all really good stuff. But with all this like focus on motivation. How do you actually measure it?
Right.
Like, is there a way to know if these strategies are working?
That's a great question. And the article does mention some more, I guess, formal ways,
Okay.
like performance reviews, employee surveys, looking at, turnover and absenteeism rates. But but those are kind of looking backward,
Yeah.
They're telling you what happened, not what's happening right now.
Yeah, so they might tell you if there's a problem, but maybe not how to like prevent it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So what else can leaders do?
Yeah.
The article says to watch for some more informal signs. Like, are people taking initiative?
Okay.
Are they participating in meetings, in brainstorming?
Yeah.
Are they giving feedback,
Okay.
offering suggestions, working well together?
So it's about observing those like subtle signs of real engagement?
Yeah. It's about tuning into the energy of the team.
Okay.
Like, are people excited for new challenges? Are they bouncing ideas off each other?
Right.
Are they coming to you with solutions?
Yeah.
Not just problems.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
This is all fantastic advice, but even with the best intentions and the best strategies,
Yeah.
maintaining motivation, whether it's for ourselves or for our team, it's a journey. It's not like you just set it and forget it, right?
You're absolutely right. Motivation, it goes up and down. There's so many things that affect it.
Yeah.
Some days, some weeks, even months, it's harder to stay motivated. But the key, and this is what the article really emphasizes, is to be intentional,
Okay.
to be proactive about creating that environment where motivation can thrive,
Yeah.
even with the tough stuff, the setbacks.
So it's about like cultivating a culture of motivation
Yeah.
where people feel supported, empowered,
Right.
and connected to something bigger than themselves.
Exactly. And that's when things get really interesting, because when we tap into that intrinsic motivation,
Yeah.
we get more than just, productivity and success.
Mm-hmm.
We get a sense of fulfillment, a
Right.
sense of purpose. Work becomes less of a chore and more of a calling.
I like that. It's pretty amazing to think about what's possible when people really feel that sense of purpose in their work.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a job anymore. It's like they're part of something bigger. And we've talked about so much in this deep dive into work motivation.
We have.
From the different types of motivation to that really important role of meaning and purpose.
It's been great. And what I really like about this article is that it doesn't just like talk about these ideas.
Right.
It gives you actual stuff you can do.
Totally.
Both for yourself
Yeah.
and for leaders.
Yeah, to create a better work experience.
Exactly.
And it comes back to that main point, Motivation isn't just this thing that happens to us.
Right.
It's something we can actually change
Totally.
for ourselves and for the people around us.
It's about creating that culture where that intrinsic motivation can really grow, where people feel, empowered,
Yeah.
valued, connected to something that matters.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last question for you. It's kind of thought-provoking.
Okay.
If you could redesign your work environment to really maximize that intrinsic motivation,
Yeah.
what would that look like? What's one change, big or small, that you could make today to kind of get closer to that?
Wow, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
It really makes you think.
Yeah.
I think when you create those spaces where people feel, I don't know, inspired,
Yeah.
challenged,
Yeah.
where they feel like they can actually make a difference, that's when the real magic happens.
It's been awesome exploring all this, about work motivation with you.
It has.
Hopefully everyone listening has gotten some good ideas, and maybe a little spark of inspiration to find their own motivation
I hope so.
and to create that more engaging and fulfilling work experience for themselves and for the people around them.
That's what it's all about.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious and keep those motivations high.
Absolutely.